Hello everyone. Today we will learn genetic code from the molecular biology course. Genetic code is a set of rules by which information encoded in genetic material such as DNA or RNA sequences is translated into proteins by living cell. Properties of genetic code means there are some unique things about genetic code which doesn't change or alter when we read DNA from different species. That means these are common features shared by genetic code of all organisms. So there are 8 such important properties of genetic code. The first one is code is a triplet. It is made up of 3 bases. Code is degenerate. It is non-overlapping, commaless, unambiguous, it is universal, it is collinear, and it has gene polypeptide parity. Let us now understand each one of these properties one by one. So the first property says code is triplet. It means there are 4 bases in DNA, namely A, T, G, and C. If there are only 3 bases in a codon, that means if it is a triplet, that means there are 3 places. The first place, there can be 4 bases. That means any of these 4 bases can come at the first place. Any of these 4 bases can occupy the second place of the codon, and same goes for the third place. Any of these 4 bases can occupy the third place in a codon. Therefore, there is 4 into 4 into 4, 4 to the power 3 possibilities to generate 64 codons out of the 4 bases available in our DNA or RNA. So, in our genetic code, we have 64 codons. 3 codons are stop codons. That means they do not code for any amino acid. Rest of the 61 codons actually mean amino acid. That means 20 amino acids that we find in our proteins are coded by 61 codons present in our genetic code. Okay, so our code is triplet. The second property says code is degenerate. That means the occurrence of more than one codon for a single amino acid is referred to as degeneracy or degenerate. For example, amino acid lysine is coded by AAA and also by AAG. Similarly, tyrosine is coded by UAU and UAC. Here we have valine, which has 4 codons: GUU, GUC, and GUA and GUG. Apart from this, we also have amino acid which are coded by almost 6 different codons. So our code is degenerate. One amino acid can be coded by more than one codon. The third property says code is non-overlapping. What do we mean by this? It means in a non-overlapping code, the same base is not used in formation of more than one codon. Look at here. If supposing this is a DNA strand where bases are placed like this, CAT, GCC, and TAG. If the codons are overlapping, then here supposing CAT forms the first codon, then T is also the part of the second codon because TGC is our second codon. And then you can see here GCC forms the third codon. So here G and C of the second codon is also part of third codon. This is what we mean overlapping. That means one base can be part of more than one codon. But this is not the situation. This is not the situation. Codons are non-overlapping, by which we mean if C80 is the first codon, then the fourth base will be part of the second codon. Second codon will not overlap with the first codon. Then after the sixth base, seventh base will be the part of the third codon and so on. So non-overlapping codons is the actual property of our genetic code. Next is code is commaless. Code is commaless means no base is left between two adjacent codons on the DNA. Codons are continuously placed without any gap. See here. If we read the same stretch of bases, C80 forms the first base, and then this T is not part of first base, not even part of the second base. Second base starts from AGG. So in this case, T is left as a gap. This is what we mean by a comma. But this is not the actual situation. In our genetic code, C80 forms the first base. The second base starts from the fourth base itself, TAG, and then the seventh base will be part of third codon. No gap is left between two codes. This is what we mean by stating that code is commaless. There are no gaps in between two adjacent codons. Next property says code is unambiguous. Genetic code means the same amino acid no matter wherever in the gene the code appears. For example, GCC. If it appears at the first three places, first, second, and third, then also it will mean the same amino acid. If GCC appears somewhere in middle of the gene, then also it will mean the same amino acid. The meaning of the codon will not change no matter where the codon is present within the gene. So code is unambiguous. Next property says genetic code is universal. That means from starfish, octopus to we human beings. Codons will mean the same amino acid. They are universal. The meaning of the codon genetic code is universal. Meaning will not change no matter whichever species the DNA is from. The seventh property says DNA is linear polynucleotide and a protein is a linear polypeptide chain. The sequence of amino acid in the polypeptide chain will actually correspond to the sequence of nucleotide in the gene. Change in a specific codon in DNA will produce a change in the sequence of amino acid in the polypeptide chain. So, gene and the protein sequence is collinear. The last property of genetic code says gene and polypeptide parity is maintained. A specific gene is transcribed into specific mRNA and that mRNA produces a specific polypeptide chain. On this basis, a cell can have only as many as types of polypeptide as it has types of genes. However, this doesn't apply to certain viruses which have overlapping genes. So, properties of genetic code says it is unambiguous. That means in any organism, each codon corresponds to only one amino acid. It is degenerate. That means an amino acid can be coded by multiple codons. Then it is universal without any gap and it is non-overlapping. So this is the picture of the entire genetic code. The first row, these are the four bases in the first position of a codon. Then this row specifies the position of base at the second place of the codon. And this is third position of the codon. So how do we read a genetic code? U will code for phenylalanine. UUC will also code for phenylalanine. UUA codes for leucine. UUG codes for leucine. Now let us move ahead. Supposing first position we have C, then CUU. CUU will be leucine. CUC will also be leucine. So in this manner, you can derive all the 64 codons from this chart. So that's all about properties of genetic code. In our next episode, we'll take up some other topic of your interest. Thank you.